Welcome, welcome, welcome to this incredibly important and powerful conversation about database building and email marketing. This really is one of the keys to unlocking sales in any e-commerce business. And I'm really excited and grateful to have Anina Haynes from Pretty Social come and join me today to talk about this topic and to just unpack this really important part about e-commerce marketing and getting sales. So Anina, welcome. Why don't you kick things off by telling us a little bit about yourself and about your business?
Hi, Warwick. Thank you very much for the opportunity to talk to you today. So I've started Pretty Social about 5 years ago. I, I got my experience through working for a car dealership or a motor dealership franchise. So I did the marketing for various brands from Mercedes-Benz, Toyota, Honda, and I worked for them for 5 years. And then I did a little bit of everything from car launches to print media, advertising, social media. So it was a very big variety of marketing activities that I did. And I really fell in love with social media marketing. At that stage, I wanted to break away from the motor industry, and I then started Pretty Social. And I decided that I want to focus on lifestyle e-commerce businesses. At that time, I didn't do a lot of e-commerce, but during the last 2 years, we really focused more on the e-commerce side. So that is how I got to this point. So we provide a wide variety of services from social media marketing, management of the channels, creating the content, doing blog posts for our clients, building e-commerce websites, and then also marketing the services online. So through social media advertising or Google advertising, there's a whole lot of things that we do.
That's awesome. So I suppose we could talk about any one of those topics today, but the one that we've sat down to sit down, have a cup of coffee and discuss through to kind of unpack is the importance of email marketing and also building our database so that we have people to email to. And that's really it's just such an important and often overlooked part about e-commerce. So let's maybe start off the conversation by asking you kind of what is the importance of email marketing and database creation?
Yes. Okay. So the important part for me is that when you advertise your business on social media, you build up a following and you can advertise to them and talk to them on a regular basis. But the info that you have of those clients aren't really yours. So you can, at any time, you can lose your Instagram account, it can be hacked, you can lose your followers. And that is where the email marketing is so powerful for me, because if you start building your email database from the beginning, even when you start your business, then you can build up that email database. And it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a long time to build up your email database. But if you start from the beginning, you can build that up as you go along. And the thing is that about 4 billion people use email every day. So you have the opportunity to get into the inbox straight away. It is also a very cost-effective way of marketing. So you don't have to pay a lot per month to send out email campaigns to your audience. It is very measurable, and that's why I really like it, because whatever you do, if you drive traffic to your website, if you ask them to click on this button to buy this product, everything is measurable. So you can track the amount of opens of the emails, the amount of clicks, everything that happens from that email campaign, you can measure. So
Yeah,
it is
it's
really very measurable.
yeah, and it's so important. Like just to kind of highlight something that you've touched on here is that it's something that you can control. And yes,
Exactly.
we can go ahead and create a big following on Facebook, or we can have a big Instagram following, but that's somebody else's playground. They set the rules. And we've seen a change, like a significant change with Facebook. Maybe 3 years ago, everybody was focused on getting page likes. And companies invested a lot of money in getting up to like 1 million page likes. And there was a big deal about it because at that stage, when you posted from your page, people would see it. And then Mark Zuckerberg said, no, I don't like that anymore. Now only 3% of people are going to see your post from the page, unless if you're paying to actually advertise your post to your audience that you've created. And
Exactly.
those are the types of things that happen when you build your database in an environment that you have no control over. But with email databases, that's really the difference here, is that if you're with MailChimp and you don't really like them anymore, you can export your list, you own that, and you can put it somewhere else.
Exactly.
So it's
Yes.
really crucial and important to focus on building this, as you say, from day one.
Yes. And the nice thing is that, like you said, if you export your database, you can repurpose it and you can target those people. You can build a lookalike audience of those people in Facebook. And you can target them without them even knowing. You're not putting out the contact information out there. You're not actually, they are just going to see your ads in social media. So that is also very effective. And studies have shown that it's about 40% more effective than social media advertising. So you you're building that personal relationship with your list, and people are feeling that they get your attention. So you can build a much stronger relationship with your email database than you could with your social media following.
So
And then
interesting that that it's like up to 40% more effective to advertise through email than through social media. And what kind of comes up for me is the fact that business owners are very happy to put marketing budget into Facebook ads or other different social media. But then when it comes to growing your database, it's like, oh no, I don't want to invest into that because they don't really see the long-term value. And it is a long-term game. I often say that with e-commerce, um, the future growth of your sales of your business can be determined or can be seen by the current growth of your database. Like if your database isn't growing today, then your sales in the future aren't likely to grow at a massive rate. So it's really important. But I suppose something that comes up there is, where can people start to create a database, to start building their email list?
yes. So the first thing that I will suggest is you must obviously choose your platform, your mailing platform. So whether it is MailChimp, obviously MailChimp is one of our favorites, just due to the fact that they are cost effective and that they have a free option for people. Once they start out, they can add up to 2,000 email addresses to their list, and they can use that platform for free. They can send unlimited emails. Obviously, there are a few of the functionality of MailChimp that you don't get, but I really feel that the free platform really offers a lot. So that's a great way to start. There's also other things like Active Campaign, OmniSend, Klaviyo, or Flowdesk. There's various different options that you can choose from. But the nice thing about MailChimp is the functionality and the way that you can track and you can link your online store to it so that you can actually track how many sales you get from that specific email address or that email campaign that you send out.
Yeah,
So
that's really cool.
yeah, so once you have chosen your platform, then it's important to decide what are you actually going to provide your subscribers, or how are you going to entice them to actually sign up to your list. And a way to do that is to offer either a 10% discount or 100 Rand off of their first order on your website. So you can also do this in other ways, but I think a discount really entices people to not only sign up, but also to order from your website. So that is a great way to entice people. And
Absolutely, yeah.
then you need to have a proper sign up method on your website. So if people can't find where they have to sign up, they're not going to sign up, obviously. So you can do that by adding a sign up form in your footer of your website. You can have a pop-up that pops up once they enter your website. A lot of people don't like that. The other option is also to have an exit pop-up so that once people almost go out of the site or close the site, then it pops up and then it shows the discount and asks them to then sign up.
Cool. And on that topic, like what's your feeling about the first pop-up to show a customer who arrives on your site for the first time? And I was on a website earlier just before we jumped on this call, and and before I'd even seen the website, like what it was about, like the homepage was still loading and there was a pop-up saying, do I want to subscribe? And I'm like, obviously I'm not going to subscribe yet. I don't even know what you guys are all about. So
Yes.
what's your advice to somebody in terms of when the pop-up should show and how long and how many? Because there is like pop-up overwhelm sometimes, and people leave.
Yes, exactly. So when you do a pop-up as soon as you get onto the website, I would say at least 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So wait 10 seconds that they can just have a squiz at the homepage first and see maybe the homepage sliders and see what the site is all about, and then you do the pop-up. And it's also important to then, if they close it, then you don't show it again. Or once they get onto the website the next time, maybe show it once more, but after that, they've probably shown that they are not really interested to sign up yet. And then if they want to sign up at a later stage, that is where the exit pop-up then comes in again. So you can always ask them later on, or if you do then regular email campaign, regular Facebook campaigns, or ask them on your social media posts, then you will get the opportunity to get them again to sign up. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
And just maybe you could explain what an exit pop-up is for somebody who's not familiar with that term.
yes. Okay. So technology is so good these days. So once you hover to the X where you want to close the site, or if it looks like you are going to another site or going to another program, it immediately pops up. So it's very clever how they can do that. I
Yeah,
always
and that,
find
yeah, and that's a
yeah.
really nice place to use. You mentioned about offering a discount off your first purchase, 10% or a 100 Rand voucher or something, because now somebody's going to leave and they're going to a different website. Like, let's offer them something, get them involved, and that works really well.
Yeah. And it's also good to change the look of your pop-up quite often, because once they get onto your website, maybe in a week's time or in a month's time, then it doesn't look exactly the same. So you have maybe a different image, you have a different discount that you offer, it must look different. So it's important that you keep track of your pop-ups and change this on a regular basis.
Perfect. And to ask people to sign up consistently, what are the different options that people could follow?
Yes, I also just wanted to mention, except for the pop-up, it's also important to have a specific page with its own URL, because a lot of times you want to maybe send a link to someone, or you want to have a link in your email signature that links to a specific page. You can't send them to the home page, because then they're going to struggle to find where they must actually sign up. So if you have a specific URL, it can be a hidden page on your website, but at least then you can use that URL to direct people to that page, whether it is if you ask in a social media post, or add that to your link in your bio, or wherever you want to use that link, even in a social media ad campaign, you can then direct people to that specific page.
Perfect.
So the ways that you can market to your audience and encourage them to sign up is you can do regular social media posts. You can do a feed post or a story, and you can just talk about it regularly. Because if you're not going to ask, people won't know. They might not even know that you have an email campaign that you send out regularly, but you need to talk about it quite a lot. And then you can also do paid ad campaigns. You can then promote that incentive of receiving 100 Rand off your first order. That could be an ad campaign that you build around that. You can also, you must make sure to add it in your link in bio, whether you have a link tree with various links, there must be a sign up option in there too. And then another way that's good to grow your list is to offer free resources. You can either have samples that they get, or free gifts that they get with their first order, or you can have a downloadable how-to guide. There's a lot of things that you can think about that you can give people in exchange for their email address. You can also do a free class or a webinar where you give advice or some tips on how to use this product, or yeah, any free class that people have to sign up for. That is also a great way to grow your email list. And then you can encourage people to sign up if you are going to have a sale or a promotion starting soon, because if you provide exclusive content to your mailing list, then people would want to get onto that list, because if they know that they will receive a discount, or they will get access to the sale once they subscribe, then obviously they might subscribe to your list.
It's so interesting that those last few points you've been mentioning kind of speak my language. At with the Insaka e-commerce academy, we really do take our email list very seriously in terms of respecting the people who are on our sender list, but also in terms of building it. Because as I said, like with online businesses, the future growth of your business can be determined by the current growth of your email list. And so when you talk about offering free resources or free events, it's like that's exactly our jam. If anybody goes to insaka.co.za /free, you will find like a ton of free resources. And now that you know, after having heard this conversation, you'll know that every single one of those resources is behind an opt-in. So we give a whole bunch of value, and in exchange, we ask for your email address. And there's really good stuff there. Like if any entrepreneur goes to that page, they will find something that they want. And all they need to give to get it for free is their email. And similarly, we put on some really big events. We often do webinars. Last year, we hosted the biggest e-commerce event in Africa, the PayFast e-commerce virtual summit. We had over 10,000 people opt into our email list to get a free ticket to that event. That was 10,000 extra people joining our subscriber list, which is amazing. And we continually do stuff to grow our database and to offer value at the same time. So we do kind of practice what we preach, because I believe in this so much. And it makes total sense. Like if you can get your email list up to 100,000, up to 200,000, 500,000, a million people, there's no ways your business is not going to be successful. So in the beginning, it's really difficult to start getting that momentum, but it's really an investment of your time and your effort to start getting these people, your ideal customers, to subscribe so that they can hear from you on a regular basis. But Anina, like once people have actually given you their email address and they've opted in and they've said, I want to hear from you, like when can you start to send out emails, and what should you start with?
Yes. Okay. So there's two parts or to this answer for me. So once people sign up, you need to have an automated campaign set up that is a welcome email. So it's very important that people, once they sign up, they must obviously, once they get that email from you, that welcome email that they get immediately after they've signed up, you want to welcome them to your list and your community. And you can, in there, you can maybe tell a little bit about yourself or your business, and maybe just give an overview of what you're all about and what they can expect in future emails. So that is quite important. And that is also the email where you will then give that free discount code that you said you're going to offer them. So they will receive the discount. You can obviously add a link to your website where they can go and shop and use that voucher. So that is the first thing that I will do. And that can go out immediately. So even your first subscriber. So that is something that you need to set up before you actually start advertising and getting people to sign up for your list. So the welcome email is very important. After that, you can also have different sequence of emails going out. Some people overdo this part a bit for me. I see a lot of companies that have a bunch of emails. So after they've signed up, I get like an email the next day, the day after that, even like 5 days after I've signed up, I get all these emails. And that is really a bit too much for me. I would say maybe have 1-2 days after they sign up, or even a week after. And after that, they're going to form part of your monthly emails. So they will be receiving your monthly or weekly emails after that. But those are the two main campaigns that I would say that needs to be set up, and that is automated. So it's not a planned campaign that is scheduled for a specific day. It's automatically going out to the people at a specific date. And then you can start sending out, even if you have 100 subscribers. I would say 100 is a good number to start with your weekly, monthly, or bi-monthly email campaigns, so that at least that all the effort you put into creating those campaigns, writing copy, putting in nice images and making it look good, I would say 100 subscribers is a good place to start. And then you can decide if you want to send out a monthly email. I would say for startup businesses, a monthly email is good to start with. And then as your database grows, you can decide how you want to increase that, whether it will be a bi-monthly or a weekly email campaign. And then there's also, as your list grows to more people, I would really suggest that you work on specific email campaigns. So say, for instance, you have an online store that sells some sort of gifts or cakes or something that you can buy for a birthday, for example. If you have a field in your sign-up form where you ask people for their birthdays, you must say why you ask for their birthday. So you can maybe just mention that on birthdays, we send out a voucher for you to use on our website. So when you ask for that birthday, that could be a campaign that is also automated, and that can go out to the people that have signed up with their birthdays. You can also do segmented campaigns for first-time buyers. So once someone bought on your website, something on your website for the first time, after they purchase, they then get a specific email for a voucher for their next purchase. Those are all segmented audiences that you can target, or regular buyers, or people that buy high buy order or place orders with high purchase value. You can um, you can reward those people with specific discounts or vouchers, and you can do that through sending out these automated campaigns to them.
Really good tips there. And something I want to ask your opinion on here is in terms of the information that you capture when somebody opts into your email list. One thing that we've tracked very closely and measured over the years is how much information we want to gather, because ideally we want the customer to tell us everything about themselves. Like, when are you born? What do you like? What's your favorite color? What do you drive? Like, we want to know everything. But statistically, the more information that you ask from somebody when they're opting in, the less likely they are to opt in, because it becomes a mission. And they also get a bit dubious. Like, why do you need my cell phone number? Why do you need my ID? Why do you need my ID number? So there's one end of the scale where sometimes opt-in forms have a lot of information, and those opt-in forms are going to convert really badly. So over the years, we've actually narrowed this down to the two key bits of information that we want together as in Saka. And that is an email address and whether people are already selling online or not yet selling online. And that's all we ask for. So we don't even ask for a first name. And I know that the first name is nice, because then when you send an email, you can say, "Hi, Anina." That's really nice. We personalize it. But what I would prefer is to have people opt in and then later gather more information on them. Like, when we do campaigns or when we do promotions, we'll often ask people or reward them if they give us their birthday and more information. So what's your feeling on that? Do you, like, if you put together an opt-in form, like, what information are you asking for?
Yes. Well, I would say a first name and an email address. Those are the two most important ones. Like you said, I think a personalized email showing that person's name in the email itself, it shows that you really care about this person and that you have, um, yeah, I think the first name is quite important. And then like the birthday, you have to mention why you're asking for that. So don't ask for too much information, then they're probably not going to fill out the form. So first name, email address, and then if you want something specific, like you said, or they're already selling online, that is something that they can think, okay, I understand why he's asking for this. Because obviously you want to know what to market to them. So you can have different email campaigns, and I don't want to receive information that I'm not interested in. So those kind of fields is important when you gather the information. But I think keep it simple and just ask for the most necessary ones.
Yeah, I think somebody who I see who does this really well is with NetFlorist. You opt in and you just give your email address. And then when you check, whenever you buy from them, they always ask, like, what's the occasion? Is this for somebody else's birthday? Is it for your birthday? Whatever it is. And then a year later, guess what happens? You get an email saying, like, "Hey, it's your mom's birthday. Do you want to get a gift?" And I love that. That's so clever.
Yes,
So that's one example of somebody who's really doing well.
yes,
And you mentioned something which you touched on, and I think it's going to raise a question for a lot of people. You mentioned sending out a weekly or a monthly or a bi-monthly newsletter. And the question that would be coming up for people would be, how many emails should I send? Like, I don't want to send too many. I don't want to get in people's way. I don't want to irritate them. I don't want to be spamming them. There's a lot of stuff that comes up around this particular question. So what is your opinion on this?
yeah. Look, I would say it's all about testing. It's very difficult to say, okay, I think you should send out weekly, because it doesn't work for all businesses. It depends on the product that you sell, and if you're actually offering something of value in each email.
Hmm.
So it's, for me, it's always quality over quantity. I would rather send out less email campaigns, but have proper value in them. So if you are um, yeah, you must provide really good value. And then if we test and we look at the stats of all the email campaigns, then it is the place that you will see, okay, are people unsubscribing? That is the one thing that I look at. So if you get unsubscribed a lot on each email, then it means that people, they are spammed. They're receiving too much information from you that they don't like. The second part is, are your sales actually, or are they actually conversions in sales? So if you do a special offer each month or each week in your email, So you have a specific focus on a specific shop category, and you offer a limited discount for weekly promotions. That works really well. But if you send out weekly emails and there's not a lot of value in them, you are going to get unsubscribed. And that is when you have to realize, okay, maybe I'm sending out too many emails. And then rather do bi-monthly emails, and you change your strategy a bit, and then you measure again to see how is my unsubscribes looking, how is my sales conversions looking. And that will give you a clear indication of what is the best amount to send out per month.
Yeah, that's I like what you're saying there, specifically to say that every email needs to include value. Sometimes I see smaller businesses sending out regular emails with promotions offering the same thing again and again. And if you do that, then you're almost training like the customer who opens the first one, the second one, the third one, and they see that you're doing the same stuff again and again. They might unsubscribe, or you're training them not to open your emails. And so you need to keep it different. You need to play around with the design. You need to offer promotions on different products, add value through content, not always just promotions. Like have a blog post on the how-to guide on how to use a product that you're selling, or an interview with somebody. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
you must have a
to balance
balance
it.
between the different content that you're putting out. Like you
Yeah.
said, the
Eh,
blog post this week, then a promotion, then launching a new product without a promotion. And you have to have a good balance between those campaigns.
Yeah, I had a lunch with Manuel Koza, who's one of the co-founders of Zando, and we are chatting about this. And he said, if you aren't sending out 7 newsletters a week, you're missing out. And
Yeah.
that was kind of based on him on Zando having a mega product range. And you'll see this with Takealot, with One Day Only, with all the big e-commerce players who have a big product range. Every single day they are sending out newsletters, sometimes twice a day, and those are converting, and the customers are opening them. And they also aren't afraid of people unsubscribing. If somebody unsubscribes, they probably weren't going to buy from you anyway. And so it's also a way of cleaning your list, provided you are offering value, as you say, in every single email. But Zando's approach is like, if you're not sending 7 emails a week, you're missing out on sales.
Yeah.
But
It's
but you
like you
can't.
said.
Yeah, you need a wide range of products that you can mix it up and keep adding value, and not train your customers that you're just doing the same stuff over and over.
Yes. And with some of our clients, they have a small range of products that they offer and sell. So you have to get very clever with your marketing and your campaigns to keep them interested, and talk about your products in a different way each time, and think of creative ways how you can talk about this product and
Mm.
sell this product, or soft sell this product in your blog post, in your email campaigns that you send out. So
Yeah,
it makes it a bit more difficult when you have less products to offer.
yeah, I'm really enjoying this conversation, and probably going to go over on time, but no problem. It's valuable. This is really good stuff. And you know, as you say, like with smaller companies who are starting out, SMEs with smaller product ranges, like then you still want to be sending a newsletter at least once a month. Sorry. And the reason for that is just to stay top of mind for the customer, because one of our great students sells pot plants. Like I'm sure your office is covered with pot plants, and she just needs to stay at the top of mind, because the customer's not looking to buy an indoor pot plant every single day or every single week. But when they are, they need to remember your brand, your website, and your company. And if you go quiet and you just stay like not sending out emails, then they're not going to remember you. Statistically, customers need to see your brand in 7 different times before they'll remember the name of your company. And so this is just a way of continually touching base, showing them your brand, saying that we're here. And an example of somebody who did this really badly was a company. I've always been a big believer in reading books from successful people and buying courses on what I want to learn. And I've been doing this for a very long time. The first course I bought was when I was 15 years old on financial management, from a company called FinFit. And I got an email from them the other day. They hadn't emailed me in 8 years. And suddenly they're sending me some promo thing. I was like immediately unsubscribed, because like that's just not how this works.
Yeah, and by sending regular emails, you build trust with your audience.
Yeah.
And those people on the other end receiving your emails, if they receive something from you this month and only in 6 months' time, they actually lose trust in you, because if you do regular emails, they see that you show up for your business. And this is a very difficult thing to get right, because
Mhm.
sending out email campaigns, it's hard work. There's a lot of planning going into it. And it's good to have someone that can keep you accountable to say, okay, listen, let's let's set a date. Let's say every first week in the month or every last week of the month. It's important to set a date that you want to send out that email.
Yeah.
And then you know, okay, I need a week to plan or 2 weeks to plan to get the images and the content ready or the product set up correctly on the website. There's a lot of planning going into it, and having someone like us, or even your business partner or someone in the business that takes responsibility for this part of the marketing is really so important, that you can keep up. If you start a monthly email, then you must send it out each month to build that.
Absolutely. And you know, it's as you say, like you can't wait 6 months. And sometimes like somebody will come to your website, they'll find a lead generator or some discount code or something, and they're excited, they get that, they opt in. And if they only hear from you again in 6 months' time, I can guarantee that they won't even remember having opted in. And they'll probably mark you as spam. And if they mark you as spam, then your whole email campaign and account is in trouble.
Yeah,
Because too many of those, and you start to get red flagged by MailChimp or whoever you're using. But
yeah.
yeah,
And also, if you send that incentive, like the discount code in your first welcome email, once they receive that second email, they actually reminded, because obviously a lot of people won't immediately use that discount voucher. They might forget about it. It might go into their spam folder at first. But once you then talk to them on social media and remind them through your email campaigns, then they're reminded of that special offer. And then they will go to your website to go and
perfect.
actually use that first discount voucher that you've provided to them.
All right. So now that we've got people to opt into our email list and we know when to start sending information to them, what are some examples of some emails that do work well in terms of connecting with our audience?
Yes. Okay. So the first thing is a newsletter. So a newsletter is something for me that is not selling. It is something that happens within your business, a new product that you launch and you want to inform your clients about, a new service that you offer, something that's happening within your team. If you have a new team member, if you're running a giveaway, it's things that is soft selling and just providing it's just basically brand awareness about your business. So that is what I see as a newsletter. Then you can have specific promotions or offer campaigns, and that is where you drive traffic to your website and you promote a specific either one product or a product category that you want to talk about that month or that week. And then you could add a promotion to it. It doesn't necessarily have to be a promotion. It could just be a focus on a specific product or category on your website. Then it could be announcements or launches. Like for instance, in your case, you will make people aware of your launch or your course opening soon. So it can be a specific announcement that you want to inform people about. Then you can also invite them to upcoming events, whether it's a webinar or a physical event or a physical launch at your store. That could be an email campaign on itself. And then you can also do surveys. I think this is something that not a lot of people do, and which I feel is very important, because through a survey, you can get feedback from your customers as to what products they like. Like you said, you can then ask them to provide their birthday and offer them that birthday voucher in the future. So surveys is a really great way, and that's how you get to know your customer and get feedback on your products so that you know how you can better your website and your products on your website. So, and then also with the surveys, you can also include a voucher. So for the people that actually fill out a survey, it's good to give something of value for them in return of giving that information to you.
Yeah, and it is so valuable to have more information about your customers. You know, after last year's virtual summit, you know, 10,000 people, we sent out a survey and a whole bunch of people filled it out willingly. We actually didn't offer them anything. So thank you to everybody who
Okay.
filled that out. And then a nice little addition was right at the end of the survey. We said, like, if you enjoyed the free summit that we put on, please give us a 5-star rating on Google reviews. And we got a whole stack load of really great reviews there, which also just helps bolster our website credibility, SEO, and all of that. So yeah, there's lots of stuff that we can be creative with in this with
Yeah.
communicating
And
with our customers.
yeah, now that you mentioned the reviews, I think that is also something that could be set up as an automated campaign. You get, like with Shopify, you get plugins like Yotpo. That is something that people use a lot, that send automatic emails once someone purchases a specific product. And then the notification goes out to the client and they can ask them for a review on that specific product. And that is a great way to then show those reviews on your website. You can choose whether you want the review to show, and the next person that comes onto your site and see that product can actually see that previous review of the customer. And that is like gold to me. I think that is something that is really important, that you must ask your customers for reviews. They're not going to give it themselves. You obviously get a small group of people that will do that if they're really impressed with your product or your service, but there's no shame in asking for these reviews.
Oh, not at all. And social credibility on a product page is so golden.
Yeah.
So, and with us having this conversation, we're trying to actively get people to opt into our email list and to start receiving emails and newsletters from us. But from a customer point of view, your inbox becomes very cluttered and very busy with a whole stack load of people emailing you. You've got Zando messaging you like every single day or twice a day. One day only, take a lot. Everybody's bombarding you with emails. So how can we start to get our newsletters to stand out so that they are opened at the very least, or just so that we can get the attention of people that we're sending emails to?
Yes. Okay. So the first thing I think that is important is to make it personal. Like I said, if you capture their first name, it's a great way to then address the email to that specific person. Then they feel special and they actually want to read it. So once they open and they see their name, they know, okay, this is something for me. So that is the first thing that I think is very important. Then you have to keep it short and sweet. And I think your copywriting in your emails is very important, because you want to grab that person's attention even before they actually scroll down and read the email or have a look at the email. The nice thing about MailChimp, they offer this little sub-heading at the top. So that always shows, and I use that part to tell people a little bit about what is happening in this email and what they can expect in the email. So once they see that, that is when you grab their attention for them to either download the images, because obviously the images doesn't show immediately, and then they can scroll down to then read the rest of the email. And if it's short and sweet, they don't have to take a lot of time out of their day to read that email. So that is quite important. And you have to make it like, it must be easily readable. So either short paragraphs, maybe some bullet points, very nice images that goes with the paragraphs and the headings that make people want to, they can quickly scroll through it and they can see what it is that they want to look at. And okay, this is something that grabs my attention and I want to read that part. So that short and sweet and a good format of your email is very important. Then obviously you need to make it mobile friendly. With MailChimp, it offers the option where you can view it on mobile. So check that before you send out that email campaign, so that you can, because most people read their emails on their phone. So it needs to be mobile friendly for them to have a look at it. And then the next tip for me will be to not always just sell. Like we said, provide value, something that they want to read and that they are going to, they're going to ask or they're going to read more about your product, but you're not going to sell the whole time. So it must be 90% educational and 10% selling, and providing that maybe that discount code at the end, just subtly. And then the last point for me is to measure your success. I mean, you can't send out email campaigns and do all this work and not measure what is actually working. You need to, every month at least, go back and look at the emails that you've sent out. Go and see where the people clicked, which ones were opened the most, what was actually converting into sales. If you look at those metrics, you're going to know what to do the next month. And then you're going to get more return on your investment if you're sending out email campaigns.
And that is a goal, to get return on investment, because we're investing our time, our effort, and often our money into campaigns to build this email list to get people that we can speak to. And there's been some really cool tips. And one thing I also was thinking as you're giving tips on how to send newsletters that stand out is also for the copywriting, that how we approach it when we draft those emails. And one of the tips that I read a while ago, and it served us so well, is to understand that the purpose of the subject line is to get people to open the email. And the purpose of the copy inside the email is to get people to click on your call to action. And we follow that approach with every single email that we send out. Is draft a subject line that gets people's attention, creates curiosity, and gets them to open the email. And then once they've opened it, the goal is to get people to click, because we need them to click to get to our site so they can buy something, or take the action that we want them to take. But really, that's a really nice formula that we always follow.
Yeah. And if you spend a lot of time and effort on your copywriting or get a professional copywriter to write that great copy for you can repurpose that for your social media post or for a blog post on your website or your ad campaigns that you're running. You can repurpose that so you don't have to do it all over again. It's really it creates a lot of value and content for you that you can repurpose on your other channels.
Brilliant. Nina, thank you so much. This has been so enlightening and informative, and really enjoyed this chat. Yeah, you guys definitely, we need to have you back here again to talk about all the other topics that we can.
I'd love
But
that.
thanks. So if somebody wanted to subscribe to your email list or opt into your social media to start communicating more with Pretty Social, where would they go and how can they get in touch with you?
Yes. Okay. So they can visit our website. It's prettysocial.co.za. So we do have a sign up option in our footer. And then also on Instagram. Instagram is our main social media channel. They can find us, Get Pretty Social is our username. And also on Facebook, Pretty Social. And in our link in our bio on Instagram, we have a link tree and they can just scroll through there and they will immediately find a way to then subscribe to our newsletter.
Perfect. Well, I think everybody who's stayed with us all the way to the end would have got so much value that they are straight away going to go and opt into your email list so that they can start hearing more wisdom from you about digital marketing, social media marketing, and just growing your e-commerce sales in general. And Nina, thanks so much for your time. We'll look forward to chatting to you again on another episode. And yeah, we'll chat to everybody else inside of our social media groups. Thanks for now, guys.
Thank you.